I've asked a few people recently, what do you want to do with your life? And I tend to get a variation of the following answers. I'm not too sure, I'll see what happens, I'll ride this job out for now, or just straight out no idea. I've noticed with my own journey of self-discovery that often it's really not as simple as just figure out what you want to do and go and do it. Often we're covered with layers and layers of expectations, past failures, limiting beliefs and stories about why we can't achieve what we want to achieve. So in this video, I'll be talking about exactly why we find it so hard to figure out what to do next in life and exactly what you can do about it. Hello everyone, it's Will from Average to Epic. Welcome back to another video. In this channel, I help you get clear on what it is you want to do in your life, how to stop feeling stuck and to move forward and to create the life of your dreams. If you like the video, click like, click subscribe below, click the bell notification as well, and let's get straight into it. So firstly, I'd like to start with a story by Jack Canfield that I think explains perfectly why we find it so hard to figure out what we do want to do with our lives. So the story goes that in Thailand, many years ago, there was this famous clay Buddha, this huge clay Buddha. They were in the process of moving it because they were doing construction work nearby, and then suddenly a big crack appeared down this side of it. So they shone a torch into the crack to have a look at the extent of the damage, and something was shining back at them. Now they thought, that's a bit strange, clay does not reflect. So there's something else going on here. Now it turns out that actually it was a gold Buddha that had been covered in clay. Now what they think happened was many centuries before that there was war, some fighting going on in Thailand, and they think that the monks covered the gold Buddha in clay so the soldiers would think it was worthless and they would leave it there. I think this story is a great analogy for us. So if you think about it, the gold Buddha underneath represents who we are at our deepest level. Our passions, our beliefs, our dreams, why we're here. And the clay represents all the bullshit on top, right? Or people's expectations, past failures, things that have happened to us, our limiting beliefs, the reasons why we believe we can't achieve these things, our identity, for example, so many things that is actually holding us back. And this was certainly true for me. I, for many years, didn't have a clue what I actually wanted to do or why I was here, what my purpose was. I was just kind of coasting through job and career and university because I thought it was the best option, the best thing. I didn't really have any better options. Now I've got a bit clearer about what it is I do want to do, and I can see why I struggled for so many years, and I can see it in other people that I'm currently coaching as well. So now let's talk about the three biggest reasons why we find it so hard to figure out what it is we want to do in life. So number one, our expectations. This is a big one for me. I've been held back by people's expectations for so long. So anything like me, and you grew up thinking that success is having a big house, having lots of money in the bank, having a flashy BMW outside, and that's the sort of one-size-fits-all definition. I can now see that I've been chasing the wrong dream. That isn't actually my definition, my real definition of success. And I think a lot of people get caught in this trap, this one-size-fits-all definition, but actually we all have a different definition of success. Also, have you noticed how the education system is set up pretty much across the whole world? It tends to prioritize subjects such as maths, English and science at the top of the pecking order, and then more of the creative subjects tend to be at the bottom. So in school, I was always pretty bad, to be honest, at maths, English and science, but I really shone at more of the creative subjects. So my favourite subjects and the subjects that I was the best at, music, art and geography. However, I was in one of the bottom sets in school. I was considered to be academically weak, And my sort of sense was I would never amount to anything. One day I went to see the careers advisor. The careers advisor pretty much ignored my interests and my passions and everything that I said that I wanted to do, and said, based on my skill set, I would probably be better in a sales job or even an administration role. Do you see how this causes a problem? Because for so many years, I was trying to follow the path of other people. I did the sales jobs, I did the administration jobs. I tried to do what people said I should do. Just go and do this job and go and do that job. And you're not good at math, science or English, so good luck, you know. I always thought that I wasn't that clever, that I couldn't really amount to anything. However, since discovering YouTube and doing these videos and the sort of graphic design stuff I'm doing, and it's unlocked something in me that's made me realize, actually, I am creative. I am good at something. It might not be math, science or English, but I'm good at something else that is valuable, that I can make a living from and I can enjoy doing. So I think a lot of people fall into this trap as well, because they don't fit into the carbon copy, the sort of stereotype maths, English, science type of person. They think that they're not really good at anything. And I can tell you from my own experience, this is not the case. So the lesson here is that everyone is good at something, but we need to figure out what that is. It might not be the stereotypical math, science, English. Not everyone is destined to be a lawyer or a doctor. I certainly wasn't. It might be something else, right? I mean, even making YouTube videos, doing something creative, singing, dancing, acting, whatever it is, we need to figure out what it is. And I think that's why so many people initially get so far off track, because we're following someone else's expectations. We're following someone else's advice about what we should be doing. And number 2 are comparisons. So such a big trap that I've also fallen into all of these multiple times. Comparisons, so dangerous, particularly these days with social media. How many times have you scrolled through Instagram or Facebook and you felt a little bit jealous, maybe looking at someone's pictures? Oh, they're doing this job, I'm not. Oh, they look this way, I don't look that way. Oh, they've got that type of car, I don't have that car, I should. What am I doing with my life? This person, big one for me, because now I'm getting a bit older, this person's younger than me and they've achieved X, Y, Z. And then you feel bad about yourself. The thing that I've realized is that you cannot compare yourself to other people. You just simply cannot, because we're all on a different path. Just because this guy or this girl has done something, it doesn't mean anything to you. You can achieve anything you want, but it'll be a different path, a different way, and at a different time. So a good example that I have of this is many years ago when I was in China, hadn't been there too long, a friend came to visit me. So we were on a rickety old bus in the middle of nowhere going to see some mountains, and I was sitting there. I was an English teacher, didn't really have much money at all. I was wearing fake market clothing, so think of Adidas and Nokia, for example. And my friend who's sitting next to me, he was doing really well, had a really good job. He was on about 70k at the time, had a flashy watch on, he'd flown business class. So I'm looking at him thinking, Jesus, I wish I was you. Look how well you're doing. And then he turned round and said, actually, I'm going bald from all the stress. I'm working crazy hours. This is the first break I've had in a year. I actually wish I was you. You're traveling, you're seeing the world, you're doing these incredible things, you're meeting new people every day, you're learning a new language, you're trying these different foods. I wish I was you. That was absolutely mind-blowing for me. And this has happened quite a few times actually. The grass is always greener. We always think we want what we don't have. But I could have had the corporate life. If I'd stayed in investment banking, I could have had the money and flying business class and having the watch. I could have had all that, and the hair loss. I could have had all that. But I'm so glad I didn't, in hindsight. I'm so glad I didn't. Because the experiences I've had, the things I've done, the people I've met, by far one of the best experiences of my life. So the lesson is, do not compare yourself to others. It's so easy to do, I know, but don't do it. We're on our own path and you will find the way sooner or later. And number 3 is others' opinions. Where do I start with this? I have so many examples of how this has kept me stuck and off track in the past. So most recently, someone said to me, so what's going on with this YouTube? Why are you doing these videos? Have you made any money yet? Where's it going? What's the point? Why don't you just get a job? And for a while, to be honest, I actually thought about that. I thought, maybe he's right. Who am I to be doing these videos and to be trying to help people? What do I know? I'm not an expert. Maybe I should just go and get a job. Maybe I won't make any money. Maybe he's right. And the thing that I now realize about other people's opinions is that it's their model of the world that's based on their past failures and experiences, their insecurities, their opinions, their model of the world. And that is reflected onto you. So just because that's what they think and that's their opinion, that does not have to be yours. So something that I've tried to do recently is to be very selective about who I listen to. So every man and his dog seems to have an opinion about something. But going back to this example that I just used, this guy who's giving me all this advice about giving up YouTube and it's a waste of time, he doesn't have a YouTube channel. He's never made a YouTube video. He doesn't have an online business. He's never coached anyone. So why would I listen to that opinion? Whereas if there's someone who has had an online business and has had millions of followers on YouTube, firstly, their opinion would probably be totally different, right? But you get what I'm saying. We take people's opinions and advice when they're not qualified to advise us. You know, people who are overweight trying to give us advice on losing weight. So be very careful about where you get your advice from and be very, very selective. Okay, so now we have a bit more awareness about why we find it so hard to figure out what to do next in life. What can we actually do about it? So aside from not comparing ourselves to others and not listening to other people's opinions, which obviously you should now be doing, or not be doing, as the case might be, I want to give you something a bit more tangible. So point number 1 is clarity. Now, I know I talk about this a lot on this channel, but I honestly 100% believe that clarity is the core of everything. If you know what you want in life, you can achieve it. You can have an incredible life. So I want to ask you a question that I've not asked before on this channel. And that is, if time, money and resources were no problem at all, what would you do? The reason I ask you this is that if I was just to ask, if you could do anything, what would you do? You would fit that question around your current model of the world, against your past failures and how much money you currently have and what you think is possible and your current commitments. Whereas take all that away, start to dream. How would your life look? What would you be doing? So obviously there's a lot more to clarity than just answering that question, but start to write down some answers to that and start to dare to dream. Also, if you do want some more information on this, I go to a lot more detail in my video here on how to create your vision. So do check this video out as well. And the second thing you can do is to do something that you enjoy now. So I did mention this in my first video. If you haven't looked at it yet, check it out here. But it's so true. So very often we kind of know what we want to do, or we've had a dream for many years, but we're stopped, right? We don't do it because of the reasons that I mentioned earlier in this video. So stop overthinking, stop worrying, stop listening to other people, and just start to do something that you enjoy. That thing that you've wanted to do for some time, that thing that lights you up, that thing that you've been thinking about for so long. Start doing that. Now, you don't have to go and quit your job and go all in, which I've kind of said on other videos, but that's a story for another day. Just start to do something now, even if it's on the side, a little bit of a side hustle, you're doing something at weekends. Start to do that now, okay? And then things start to move forward from there. Okay, everyone, thank you for watching. For more amazing content, check out my videos here. Leave a comment below if you have any questions for me. Give it a like. Click subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell notification as well. And I will see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.